why Anaheim 1 just continues to prove why Haiden Deegan is the most exciting rider in the sport right now. And he didn't even win. He got 5th in the main event. But man, just his attitude, his sort of drive, his sort of scrappiness, it is just fun to watch and be a part of. He wins the heat race and throws one of his classic burns at Levi Kitchen. I mean, all respect to Levi. I do believe he bowed out for the reason that he said he did, but you got to expect this was coming. He calls out, Levi was supposed to race, but he bowed out. He's just the best on the mic, and it's just fun because it just gets you excited. It gets the juices flowing, and it makes the sport just all the more interesting. So unfortunately, in the main event, he goes down immediately, was pretty much last or near last, and had to work his way through the pack. But it was just hilarious watching Haiden Deegan ride through the pack like a pissed off cowboy. There was numerous times where he was over jumping things, and it was funny hearing James Stewart and Ricky Carmichael wondering like what's going on. And I don't even think it was an accident. It's just Haiden Deegan gets in that fiery, aggressive mode, is probably pissed off for blowing his Anaheim 1 win opportunity, and is just throttling it out, getting his frustration out on the track, on the bike. And it's just funny. Somebody else had mentioned that he rides that bike like he is pissed off, and it's just fun to watch because you can see the intensity. It makes you want to ride. It makes you sort of fired up, and that level of enthusiasm and excitement is just, it's infectious. And it's also interesting because it's kind of antithetical to the general preferred approach to competing in sports, which especially at a high level, and that is to be calm, that is to be measured, to be patient, really disciplined. And Haiden Deegan just kind of bucks that trend. And generally when people are wild and aggressive and really get after it to the degree that Haiden does, they're typically not super successful racing wise, because again, it's just such a difficult sport that you really got to have that foundational discipline to be able to compete week in and week out. But Haiden Deegan has both, and it was just funny watching him just rip through the pack. And then the end of the main event is sort of him getting into it with Cody Schock, I believe Cody Schock, and they had gotten into it in a previous race the year before, and they sort of went back and forth. And afterwards, over the finish line, I honestly think Haiden Deegan loves this stuff. I believe he's one of the few riders that genuinely enjoys roughing people up and getting roughed up. He just likes that close bar-to-bar contact, and I know there's other riders that do it, Anderson and Barsha, but it's just funny to see this wily coyote on the bike, and whether he is winning or he is working his way through the pack, he is giving 150% effort. And yeah, it was, they interviewed him after the race. He gave credit to Joe Shimoda and, the dudes that were on the podium. And man, it's exciting for next week to see what he's able to do. But it's just, I feel it's undeniable he's the most exciting rider in the sport. It's not even a question. And no matter what he's doing, literally training, riding the road bike, doing laps at the goat farm, he just approaches everything with that just relentless tenacity. And you can't help but get excited. You can't help but get fired up to go ride yourself, to go do whatever it is you want to do and implement some of that same fire and that same sort of enthusiasm. And that's why we love riders like Haiden Deegan, because when someone is genuinely stoked, and I don't know there's another rider that has more genuine enthusiasm for what they're doing than Haiden Deegan, it rubs off in you and it just gets you stoked to do whatever it is you want to do. So let me know what you guys think. 5th place, obviously under expectations, but listen, Supercross, this is what happens. He made for a great sort of night of management. He worked, I'm pretty sure he was almost dead last, if not last. So working his way up to, I believe, 5th place was a good ride. He salvaged a lot of points. I want to hear what you guys think. How'd he look? What'd you think about Beaumare? And yeah, do you still got him for the favorite for the title? So yeah, let's see what happens next weekend.